Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is all about brush pen. So I'm using this brush pen from brand called Camel, and I will show you how it is different from the normal brush. So if you see the tip of this particular brush pen, it has a flexible tip. It is almost like a brush only, flexible tip, but this does not has hairs into it like a normal brush, so that's why it is little different. When you use it, you will feel little difference as compared to the brush, but similar to brush, you can say. So it is all about how you are holding your brush to paint some fine line or thick lines. So if you are holding your brush like this and moving your brush from left to right, does not matter how much pressure you are putting, you will not get thicker line than this one, the second one. So you need to hold your brush like this to get the thickness. So hold your brush like this, move your brush from left to right, and you will see you will get the maximum thickness. So that is how you need to understand in which direction you need to hold your brush to get the thickness, and in which direction you need to move your brush. So when it comes to the brush pen, it is all about how you are holding your brush, in which direction you are moving your brush, and how much pressure you are applying into your brush. And likewise, you can paint different other elements. So in this particular video, I'll show you how we can paint different kind of leaves. So for example, in this one, as you can see, I'm getting thickness in the center, then I'm moving ahead with little lesser thickness into it, and then releasing slowly. And this is all about practice. You can do the opposite direction as well. So see, you can get the thickness like this, and then just move your brush slowly, and you will get little pointed end. And likewise, you can paint varieties of leaves with one single stroke only. So in this one, I'm creating a teardrop kind of shape. I'm moving towards the upward direction and coming back to the center again, keeping one side little pointed. So likewise, you can do the downward direction as well, depend on which area you want thickness and which area you don't need thickness. You need little pointed end to create a leaf kind of shape or petal kind of shape. So these things you need to understand when you are using brush pen, and you need to understand how you are holding your brush to get the maximum thickness. And likewise, you can paint these kind of stuff easily, but when you do these kind of exercises, you will understand it better. So if you are new into the brush pen, I will suggest you to just play around with the brush pen, grab a piece of paper and try to create different shapes, and you will eventually understand and learn how you are getting the thickness and how you need to move your brush. It is different than normal brush for sure, but it is not difficult. Now let's learn how we can create little bigger leaf. So in this one, as you can see, I'm adding multiple strokes side by side. One is bigger, one is smaller, then smaller, but all these are attached with each other, creating one single leaf. And that is how we are also getting serration around the edge. So it is simple to paint. Once you start with this, you will eventually get more idea around what kind of things you can paint. So this is how you will get an idea, like whether you need a fine line or you need a thick line, and based on that you can paint varieties of leaves and flowers all together. So for today's video, I'll show you how we can paint different varieties of leaf. So for that, I'm using different sheet, and I'm going to use all 4 shades of green that I have in this particular set. So depend on what kind of brand you are using and what kind of colors you have, you can choose different color to paint something like this. I'm using all shades of green for today's video. So let's start with the lighter green color, and then you can create some fine line, and then just add little thickness around the tip of the line to create a leaf kind of shape. Now see, I'm not doing anything, I'm just moving my brush pen. In some area I'm adding little thickness, applying more pressure into my brush stroke, and that is how you can paint this particular set easily. So likewise, you can create a small leaf. You can keep it little longer as well. I have kept it smaller in size and fine, not very thick leaf as such. Now let's do the another one with different shade of green. So here I'm creating a teardrop kind of shape. I have started from one point, adding thickness, moving my brush towards upward direction, coming back and releasing slowly. And you will see this is a different kind of leaf altogether. With little modification you can do varieties of leaf like these. I will show you few just for your understanding, and then you might get different ideas to paint different kind of leaf. So these are the two leaves, simple to paint. Now let's do the third one. So for the third one, again I am using different shade. This one is little darker, and this time I'm creating a small leaf, as you can see, right? So I'm adding just a small pressure into my brush, creating a thicker leaf kind of shape, smaller in size, and adding multiple lines in between to create these stems. So it is similar to the first one, you can say, but because the leaf shape is different than the first one, it is totally different kind of leaf. So it does all depend on size, shape, and your composition as well. So now let's do the another one. So in this one I'm using olive green color, and I am adding two strokes together to create a leaf kind of shape, but again smaller in size. And if you want, you can keep a fine negative space in between the leaf. So that is also something you can do. And likewise, just arrange it in such a way, the way you like it. So I am adding 3 leaves in one single group, and likewise I'm creating multiple group here and creating a group of leaves here. So likewise we are done with the 4 kind of leaves altogether. Very simple to paint, as you can see, right? You just need practice around these things. Now let's do the another one. So in this one I'm adding strokes little longer, but similar to what we did in the last one, but this time the leaves are longer in size. So that's the only difference, and I'm keeping the negative space. So similar to previous one, but little longer, and composition is little different. So in this one I have added one single string and multiple leaves around it. Now create one more line like this, little bit tilted towards the right side. Composition is totally up to you, how you like to paint. And then add leaves. This time I am adding leaves having serration into it. So that's why for creating one leaf I'm adding multiple strokes, smaller and bigger in size, to get little serration around the edge, little zigzag pattern around the edge, you can say, and you can create something like this. So similar to what we are doing, with little difference you will get a different kind of leaf altogether. Now for this particular one I am using only tip of my brush. I don't want thickness, but I need little bushier structure, so I'm adding random strokes like this to create a foliage kind of structure or grass kind of pattern, you can say. So keep adding it, and something like this you can create at the end. So this is also very important if you are trying to create some foliage kind of pattern into your drawing and painting. Now let's do one more. So in this one, now you can see, right, I'm creating fine line but little longer and adding it in a sequence to create one single leaf but having a palm leaf kind of structure. So similar stroke, just because of composition it is totally different than the other leaves that we have. And see how beautiful this one is. So we are done 8. Now let's do the 9th one. So similar to second one, but this time the composition is little different and these leaves are little longer. So again teardrop kind of shape like we did for the second one, but in this one I am composing it in a very different way. I have created one single stroke, and left right I am creating leaf. So this is one leaf having multiple leaves into it. Now let's create a little bigger leaf this time. So for the bigger leaf, obviously you need to add multiple strokes. So I am creating a simple leaf, but I have added 2 strokes for one side of the leaf and 2 strokes for another side of leaf, creating one single negative space or fine negative space in between, and you can get a little bigger leaf like this. So to add bigger leaves you need multiple strokes. Now let's do one more. So this one is more like a lily leaf, you can say, longer and having multiple perspective. So try creating different perspective of leaf, moving your brush into that particular direction. You can do it more tilted towards downward direction as well, and likewise you can paint these kind of leaves which fits more for a lily family. Now let's do the last one. So for this one I'm creating a tree branch kind of shape. So create multiple branches and sub branches, and then with the tip of your brush, moving your brush towards left and right to left, you will get a leaf kind of shape. Just fill the whole branch kind of pattern with these kind of leaves, and to make this particular structure a little bushier, so full of leaf, smaller in size, multiple branches and sub branches into it. Definitely you can add flowers in this particular composition itself, or you can paint different varieties of flowers as well with same technique that we have learned today. So hope you have liked this video and you will learn something new. I hope so, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.